on behalf of the Zurich team, in fact, to welcome you here and thank you all for coming. The Zurich team, you see in the corner of the room here, in many cases, we've been involved in the planning of this project for about 4 or 5 years now. The actual project, as you know, initiated in April, but I think I speak on behalf of the team when I say for us, it really feels like the project starts now. So we're here and we finally have this opportunity for face-to-face interaction and discussion. So I really hope that this is the starting point for how we move forward. What I want to actually do in this presentation, to build on what's been said, is to place this meeting in the broader context of the 5-year project. In this meeting, we're very much focusing on mapping, monitoring, and the hazard assessment. And what I want to show in this presentation, once it's up there we go, is to show the importance of this step in the overall project. Here is the Zurich team. You see the names, but more importantly, you see the people. And I hope over these next couple of days, you take the opportunity and we take the opportunity to discuss face-to-face and really start moving forward in this project as a team. What I wanted to do in this relatively short presentation is just reflect again on the overall framing of this project. As we've discussed, the final goal or the ultimate goal is to have these pilot early warning systems installed across or in selected communities of the 4 countries. But the point we want to make is that at the international level, we see that a warning system is often thought of as just instrumentation. And we really, when we design this project, we frame it in a way that we bring in all the components of an effective warning system, which is what you see here. That's the scientific basis, the risk knowledge, the component you see there on the top right. Then the warning system itself, that's the instrumentation. That's what, for many people, is the starting and the end point of the warning system. But going together with that, of course, is the development of protocols. So authorities know how to respond and know who does what once there is a warning in place. And the final component 4 of our project, is then at the community level. So that's ensuring that communities know about the risks and know how to act once the siren or once the alert is given. So as you see, the components of our projects, components 1 to 4, line up to these key factors of an effective warning system. And the key point I really want to make is in year 1 and 2 of the project, we're really focusing on this risk aspect. So all the science that goes into understanding risks. What are the risks that the communities face? Perhaps it goes beyond GLOFs. Well, we know it goes beyond GLOFs. They're not, in some cases, perhaps GLOFs are not even the main risk that these communities face. So in this first 12 months of the project, we really want to understand the risks, the perceptions of the local people, but all the scientific information that we can gather about the risks. And that's the focus of this meeting here. And this is really the foundation for the entire project, because of course, understanding the types of risks people are facing, the types of lakes that are causing the problems, perhaps how they interact with landslides and some of these other factors, that then feeds into the design of the warning system. The type of instruments that we install have to be fit for purpose. We can't just bring an instrumentation that's worked in some other region and apply it here. And in fact, even across our 4 communities, it'll be different types of warning systems that are put in place. The science feeds into how we develop the alert system, of course. We know that in some of our sites, there's already alert systems in place. So it's not about starting from scratch. It's about building on the systems that are in place and the protocols that are in place. And most importantly, this forms the basis for how we communicate the risks to the local people. So I hope, although in this meeting we're rather focused on lake monitoring, mapping, etc., I hope we all appreciate how important this is as a solid foundation for the entire 5 years of the project. So given risk and the science the scientific foundation is so important to the project, what are we doing as a GLOFCA project to encapsulate all this existing knowledge and science? So most importantly, why we're here this week is for this first of the regional exchange workshops. These are intended to be an annual workshop. So each year we'll focus on a different theme, a different core aspect of the project. And each of these workshops, like the proceedings, all the information that is shared will form the basis of a best practice guidance document that will come out of the workshop. So I'll talk more about that this afternoon. As has already been discussed, this is not a best practice for us here in the room because we are the experts, the people that provide the information. This is best practice for those that come next, perhaps the young scientists that will be in important roles in the future. And it's also a best practice guidance document that can inform globally. So this is a key project, it's a unique project, and we have an opportunity to share what we learn in this project with other regions of the globe that deal with similar problems. Over the past 6 months, we've been working on additional components of the risk science. We've been developing technical tools. My colleagues will discuss this or introduce this tool this afternoon. These are tools that assist in the monitoring of glacial lakes. So automated tools that can complement the work that you're doing. And again, this is a toolbox. Throughout the project, we will add further tools and we'll discuss with you the type of tools that you would like to see developed as part of this project. And the additional third component that we've been focusing on in these last months is the synthesis reports. So for each country, we've made a start in terms of compiling the information that we had access to. This forms the basis. So this is really the starting point. What's happened in the past in terms of GLOFs, how they've been monitored, the impacts that have occurred. All this information, we have shared draft reports. These are really an early draft, and now we will discuss tomorrow, in fact, how we go forward and fine tune and expand these reports. And as I say, this all feeds into the body of knowledge, which then informs the other components of the project. With that, I would like to come to the aims and the specific objectives of this workshop. As I've made the point, this is really the first in the series of a workshop of workshops, and that's why for us it's really the starting point of the project in some ways. Where in this specific workshop we focus on the lake monitoring, mapping, and the hazard assessment. Furthermore, we really want to look into how that technical information is used by the authorities, how that is used to, or how the hazard maps, etc., are used to inform the actions of the local actors, and how that's used to develop their response strategies. And perhaps most importantly, as we move forward to the later years of the project, we already want to get insights into how warnings and response strategies are communicated with the local populations. Not just the GLOFs, but earthquakes, landslides, etc. What are your experiences with how these risks are communicated with the local people? And just to emphasize again, the experiences, the learnings from this workshop will be part of this good guidance practice document, which we will jointly be authors on as an output from the first 12 months of the project. With that, I just want to make a final point. What really motivates us, and I hope you see is really an opportunity here, is that in Central Asia, we really see a diverse range of glacial lake types. Just some examples here from across the 4 countries which we'll be working in. You see these really spectacular lakes that are, in this case, damaged by creeping rock glacier features. We see a lot of these, again here. But then we have also the more typical, perhaps, like the Himalayan type glacial lakes here, the proglacial lakes. And a last example, these, what you call these non-stationary lakes. So these threats that develop very quickly, perhaps in the space of only a few months. I think we'll hear a bit more about this afternoon. These type of lakes, to have so many different types of lakes in one region is really quite, I would say, not something we see across the globe. And that's why complex lake types require complex strategies and response actions. So I think we really have an opportunity here as we're in a region with so many types of lakes to inform globally about how to deal with this problem. So I hope we all see this as a unique chance to really influence international best practice with glacial lakes. So with that, I would like to thank you and turn over to the far more interesting part of the day where we hear about the experiences that you'll have in your regions. So thank you very much.